Today, 150 species will go extinct. 828 million people won't eat a meal. The coral reefs are bleaching, the oceans are acidifying, the rainforests are shrinking, the temperature is rising, the fires are raging, the glaciers are melting, yet we still continue to live beyond our means. Consumption is at the root of almost all of our issues, and our society revolves around this concept. According to the Global Development and Environment Institute, the values, meanings, and costs of what we consume have become an increasingly important part of our social and personal experiences. Consumption has entered into the fabric of modern life. As humans, we like to fit in, and we like to feel good about ourselves. We do this by consuming. The concept of continuous consumption is ingrained within our societies. Whether we realise it or not, we are constantly being bombarded by social media, advertising, and the opinions of others, all telling us that we need the next best thing to be happy. They force these messages down our throat, telling us to consume, consume, and consume. We do care about having the next best thing, and evidently we don't care enough about the impacts of our choices. Part of this issue is that we are often unable to see the effects of these choices. Developed countries export their waste to lesser developed countries, so we're not constantly surrounded by our waste, and we live in this kind of fantasy world where we think our waste just disappears when the rubbish truck picks it up. This could not be further from the truth. Whilst we might not feel the earth warm as we fill our shopping carts with useless items, it does not mean our choices aren't having an impact. We cannot just adopt this out of sight, out of mind mindset. Collectively, we are stealing the futures of the next generations, just as we are stealing the lives of many animals that have resided on this earth for longer than we have. Overconsumption is having extremely detrimental effects on our environment. Every single thing we consume has its cost. Everything we produce further pollutes our planets, uses our valuable finite resources, and contributes to climate change. The average pair of jeans releases 33 kilograms of CO2 throughout its lifetime. The carbon dioxide emitted to produce a Big Mac is equivalent to those released if you drove a car 13 kilometres. The examples are endless and we need to change. Responsible consumption and production is the 12th Sustainable Development Goal, one of 17 that was set out and adopted by all UN member states in 2015 to be achieved by the year 2030. Yet here we are in 2023, a mere 7 years away from our deadline, yet massively far from our goal. I could stand here and listen and explain each and every issue caused by humanity's greed and consumption, but that would simply take hours. We have less than 15 years to change our ways before we reach 1.5 degrees Celsius of warming, the temperature we agreed to try and limit our warming to when we signed the 2015 Paris Agreement. The environment is suffering at the hands of our choices. To fix this issue, we need to educate ourselves and change our mindsets. We need to understand where our products are coming from, how they are being made, and where they are ending up. We also need to reconsider what actually brings us joy and spend the time doing the things we love, surrounded by the people we love, instead of just surrounding ourselves with material goods. It might cost $30 to buy a t-shirt that brings you a fleeting sense of joy, but it costs nothing to spend quality time with the person you enjoy being with. As a society, we need to change, and that change can stem from individual action. Begin by only buying the food you know you will eat, becoming mindful of your energy consumption, and considering the impacts of your choices before you make purchases. Educate yourself, fix your mindset, and encourage others around you to do the same. Each and every one of us deserves a future. Our children and our children's children deserve a future. Yet we still can't change. Why can't we see the evidence, even when it's staring at us in the face? We need to break the norm and change our mindsets, for if we don't, we will have to accept responsibility for our actions and watch our futures disappear. Lastly, a quote from Ian Schumacher: "Infinite growth of material consumption in a finite world is an impossibility."